speaking of Trump, he may already be changing policy, not just in the US but here too. The Australian reports today that the timetable for Labor's 2035 emissions target is yet to be finalised as a result of his presidency. Maybe they realise that aggressive targets are in fact campaign killers. Tanya, what does this mean, do you think, for Labor's renewables-only fantasy?
Look, I don't buy what's come out. They're suggesting the Climate Change Authorities is suggesting that they're not ready to come out with their new figures for 2025 because they've got to take into consideration what Trump might do. This is Matt Keane. Matt Keane knows that it'll be very painful for Albanese and Bowen if their 2035 targets come out before the election. Let's not forget that Matt Keane engineered the failed New South Wales roadmap, energy roadmap. He also, when he was Energy Minister, and as the shadow minister, he actually engineered working with the Greens to push New South Wales into 2035 70% emissions target, okay? That actually exists in New South Wales because of Matt Keane. I've got no doubt that he still wants the same target with the Climate Change Authority, but they're playing politics here, okay? They're just delaying this. Look, there's a lot on the cards with Trump. We know there's a Reduction in Inflation Act that he'll need to navigate.
Absolutely, yeah.
We know that he'll want to get out of the Paris Agreement, but that's not stopping Matt Keane from announcing this, okay? He's the chair of the Climate Change Authority.
I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing,
I do agree he knows what he's doing, but it speaks volumes when Trump's out there saying he's calling renewables, Tina, the new green scam. He's not going to mince his words on this. And this is our number one ally, and we have stark policy differences when it comes to climate action.
He's going to rip up that Paris Agreement.
Absolutely he is.
And, he's going to do executive orders, dig baby dig,
but
gas away.
What will Australia do, Tina? What will Coalition do?
Well, they're going to have to adjust their policies to suit the worldwide. It's not just Trump; it's a worldwide trend now. The people are cottoning onto this and realise it's just some vague thing they've made up, and they're not going to stick to those ridiculous targets.
No, I can't. Well, it was a fantasy already. We've been warned for a long time. AEMO's warned us we're not going to get to the targets as they are right now in this country. Now, let alone on the global stage.
In Canada as well.
He's brilliant. I mean, he's the best orator out there.
If Albanese survives this election, they will go back to that 2035 targets, and that's what the Australian public need to know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I think Matt Keane is just holding back as the chair so that the public don't know that they are wanting to progress with those 2035 targets.
All right, let's move on. The Attorney-General Mark Dreyfus is in Israel now trying desperately to amend Labor's relationship with the country after Albanese and Wong have done so much to destroy it. He spoke on ABC Radio.
What I've felt in all of the meetings is that we should be strengthening that already strong relationship between Australia and Israel. Israeli ministers have, of course, raised some issues, but in a very constructive way.
Well, Tina, the horse has already bolted. I don't know what he's on about there, because how can he seriously put this relationship back on track?
Too little, too late. It's never going to mend until they're gone. The damage has been done. It's been very clear with Wong, her votes in the UN. All their policies have been pretty much anti-Israel, absolutely disgraceful. So, there's no damage done.
No, there's no point. I don't think there was any point setting him over. This was just, look, we're making peace, we're trying our best, but really, realistically, Tanya, what's he going to achieve?
Well, just trying to make amends last minute before the election's called, let's be honest. I mean, he's in Victoria. The largest population, I think, of Jewish community in Australia is in Victoria, so their seats are, I think, quite vulnerable, including probably Dreyfus's seat. But the reality is,
I think Wentworth is the largest population of
Jewish.
I think in terms of Australia, the bulk are in Victoria. And the reality is, look, it is too late, and Penny Wong has done an enormous amount of damage. And look, credit to Dreyfus for at least trying, but you've got to question, is it a case of too late? But look, at least he's willing to go down to southern Israel and at least
no credit at all. He's simply doing it prior to election.
This is an election tour. This is absolutely an election tour. Now, look, we've been talking a lot on this channel about Australia Day. Of course, it's coming up in a week and a day time. Be proud. Let's be proud of this country. But I've got to show you this because an Indigenous woman has gone viral on social media for her, staunch defence of the day. Have a look.
It's a date, and it wouldn't matter if you changed it to the 6th of December or the 11th of July or the 29th of February. You still find something to whinge about.
Well, I mean, I can't fault her. I cannot fault what she's saying there, Tina. We should be proud, and she's right. Even if the day was changed, no one's come up with an ulterior day as it is. But even if it wasn't changed, if it was changed, there would always be the outcry from the left.
Make her Australian of the Year.
agree.
Done,
As rough as
dusted.
she is, fair enough.
As rough as she is, but it's true. We should be proud of this country, don't you think?
And I think we're all slowly getting back to that with Woolworths, with their decision regarding the products and things. So I think we're all getting back to where we want to be one. We want to celebrate. We want to be a happy, healthy country, proud again.
Yeah, and I feel like, Tanya, I don't know if you agree, but I feel like the tide is turning. And there was a poll. There was actually a poll this week that said that the tide is.
69% of people want to stick with Australia Day on the 26th of January, and I think everyone's over the games around this issue. So I think it's just let's just leave Australia Day as is. Let people enjoy it. Go back to the wonderful barbecues and community spirit around it. Tina's quite right. And look, well done to this lady. Good on her.
She spoke her mind. I think she was spot on.
Mind, but she's right, because it doesn't matter if you change a date, people will still win.
They'll still win. Well, she was saying what we've all been thinking as it is. Teena McQueen, Tanya Mihaly, great to have you on the first show tonight. Thank you so much for joining me.